do we as adults put too much pressure on y'all to achieve?
I got this one.
Definitely.
Yes.
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 Without a shadow of a
Tell me
doubt.
more. Tell me more.
Especially our generation, because from a young age, we've been told that the world's kind of gone to crap and we're supposed to be the ones that are supposed to fix it, but no one listens when we talk.
And not
Oh,
that,
Wow.
being
Wow.
we are the future. You know, from such a young age, it's been ingrained in us that we are the future, but we're actually the now. We have the solutions now to fix it. We just need seats at the table.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Lucas.
And I'm Charlie Lucas.
And we are sending you all lots of love from a distance.
Yeah, well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Love from a Distance, where we turn away from the chaos in the world and focus on the love that is in our hearts. With respect to what is currently on our hearts, I know that many of us are processing the passing of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was a trusted Supreme Court justice. We could rely on her to think in terms of all humanity. She was a fighter to the end. Her transition elicits unsettling thoughts and emotions about what might be ahead, especially in this election year. Her death and vacant Supreme Court seat continue to add weight to the importance of each one of us making sure that we vote in the upcoming election. Your voice matters, so please, please speak up this November. If we, each and every one of us plays our civic role this year and participates in the democratic process, then we honor the life of Justice Ginsburg and our lives and what's possible for our collective future. I'm Tina Lifford, and here with me today, as always, to help make a bit more sense out of it all is my friend and sister friend, Iyanla Vanzant.
Deep bow to the notorious RBG.
Yeah. Deep bow.
I got a email this morning, and I've been posting it all day. It says, "Vote and tell them Ruth sent you."
That's nice.
Deep bow to the notorious RBG. Listen, I know that her desire was to make it through this election. I do know that.
Yeah.
And you know, timing, but she made her transition on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. So new things are happening, new things are coming through, and we've got a friend in high places now.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's sad, you know, it's sad that on her deathbed, rather than being concerned with, you know, her journey to the other side, she had to spend time worrying about the fate of this nation. On her deathbed, she left a message that she would hope that the person who replaces her is done by the new president. You know, I mean, what the blazing bejesus is going on in this country? That she had to spend her last moments worrying about the wahala and the hoopla and the shenanigans of this.
Yeah. And but you know what, Iyanla, what that points to for me is the reality that that's really what we would hope we all are doing, that we all are living our lives with our focus being on how can it be better for everyone, and not just focused on ourselves. I think that she models for us actually what we have seen many women and men do in our lives. But now we can take on that mantle. We can decide, that in November, one of the ways in which we take care of everyone is to go to the poll.
Yeah.
Vote for who you want, but go to the poll.
I was so distressed this week. I had a road trip from home down to do my production for Fix My Life. And I was listening to talk radio, and the number of Black people, because this was Urban View, the number of Black people who said that they were not going to vote. They didn't want to vote for the current president, and they didn't like the other candidate. They said they would, if they voted, they would vote for the Green Party. And the host was trying to say to them, there's no way that the Green Party candidate can win. So do you understand that by voting for that person, you're taking a vote away from the candidate and giving it to the incumbent? And they just couldn't see that. They just couldn't see it. So my prayer is that between John Lewis and Root and RBG, that, their spirits will touch the hearts and minds of people all over this earth, in this country, and that people will go out and vote. They will go out and vote.
That's my prayer as well. That's my prayer as well. And, even that speaks to so many problems that exist in this country. Education is a problem. We can't fault people for not being able to critically think if, in fact, they haven't had the education that teaches them how to critically think. And when you're so focused on survival and you're not getting enough, enough information, you make choices that you wouldn't make if you had more information.
Now, the only thing I find inspiring about RGB's transition is I think it's going to inspire the young people to come out. I really do. Scalia just passed a couple of months ago, and, okay, he's gone. They didn't have flowers and candles and drumming and all on the Supreme Court. Have you seen the Supreme Court steps? It looks like a street fair. I love it. I love it. Yes, I think
she broke so many barriers, though. She came in guns a-blazing. She came in. And I think she represents, in tone, the thing that we respond to where John Lewis is concerned, and even Michelle Obama and President Obama. When you find someone who is willing to take a stand for the moral, a moral stand that supports us all, you can see that it supports everyone, whether you like it or not, whether you can do with it or not. You see that it is a stand that is meant to support the many. And I think that we as human beings, and I'm really looking forward to our guests today, I think that when we feel like we matter, when we feel like we're being seen, when we feel like someone is fighting for us, whether we can fight for ourselves or not, it makes a huge difference in how that person's existence impacts our lives and our hearts.
The challenge that we face as a society right now is that we are addicted to lies.
It's true. It's true. We're addicted to being abused. We are
absolutely. I talked
we're
about that
comfortable
last
with
week.
being abused.
America is an abused woman.
Yeah,
I lived 9 years in domestic violence, and I know how that thing happens. You never know when it's coming. You don't know how to prevent it. Then it happens, and you're shocked, and then you be ashamed, and then you can't admit it. We are so addicted to abuse, and we're addicted to lies. From simple things, and we don't consider it, like, how many people walk around with false teeth, false boobs, false lips, false hair, and then call it their own. It's a lie. That is not
Yeah.
your hair.
Well,
You bought it. Those are
I
not your
think that
boobs.
I think it depends upon the context, but I certainly know that our country is not a country that is comfortable with difficult conversations.
Yeah.
I know our country is not a country that has learned how to acknowledge that such and such a thing has happened in their world, in their family, you
Yeah.
know, and that pretense and that never let them see you sweat either is it is undermining the very reality of who we are as human beings with these nervous systems. But I got to ask you about this shirt. I'm loving this shirt. What is that?
This is my work shirt.
What does that mean? Work shirt for like fix your life?
Whenever I'm doing crafts, this is my work shirt. I put this shirt on. It inspires me. So I sew. So now I'm going to quilting. I'm starting to quilt. That is an ancient, for us, that's an ancient thing. I don't know. So my best friend's birthday is coming up, and we're so tired of buying each other presents. So I would sleep. I said, I'm going to make Shahira a quilt. I'm going to make her a quilt. She's going to squeal and scream and make So I'm cutting. These are the squares, and I'm cutting them out. And it's just, so I had to put on my craft. This is the shirt I wear when I make soap, and this is the shirt I wear when I make scrapbooks. So this is my work shirt.
Well, I like this shirt very much. You should sell that shirt.
Like
To
a smock, right?
Yeah. Like ignite your creativity, because that's exactly you put that shirt on.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scrapbookers and mixed media artists.
Yes.
I'm going to say just one last thing before we get off it and we do our roll call. In South Dakota, I'm sorry, in New Mexico, right along where they're building the barrier, the Kumeyaay natives live there, and they don't want the wall because the part of the land where they're building the wall goes through their sacred burial ground. I'm a Native American, so I get all this news. But the Kumeyaay, so there were four medicine men, went out with their drums, got down in the hole where the workers were digging, and started dancing and singing native chants. Do you know those workers left for the day? I don't know if they're coming back with the police or whatever, but they stopped it for the day. And then there was a woman who was accosting some of the native women. I mean, literally attacking. And they refused to fight her back. They protected themselves and moved her off of them. So we need to lift up the Kumeyaay people and that sacred land, and it's so much going on. So I'm quilting. Singing to the grandmothers. Wade in the water. Wade.
I am going to say to our audience that I actually think that you've just given us all something instructive that we can do when you are in your, just own space. Take a moment and either send prayers up like the Indians were doing, sing a hymn that gave you, a sense of security and a sense of possibility for the future that you learned in church someplace. Send good energy to the planet, because that's the battle that we're in. There's a lot of
troubling the waters. God's gonna trouble the waters. So that's what's happening. The waters are being troubled up. But if you know that either the myth from the Comentian tradition or the scripture out the Bible, he troubled the waters, and that meant his spirit was upon the waters so that healing could take place. But the people were afraid to get in the water because it was so rough and rippling and everything. So Wade in the water.
All right.
Go get that video. Go get Sweet Honey in the Rock singing Wade in the Water. Yeah, and the other one is I think it's After 7 or Take 7. They sing I Can Feel It Coming. I can feel it coming in the air. Yeah, go get that one. Anyway, let's see who's in the house.
Yes, because we have wonderful guests, and we want to bring them on.
Brooklyn is in the house. Brooklyn, Newark is in the house. I know the ATL, Detroit, Richmond, California, Cincinnati is in the house. Chesapeake, Virginia is in the house. Hey, Harlem, Alabama. I hope Alabama's doing good. I know they had a little storm. My spiritual warriors from Miami are in the house. I know Phil Collins did the song, but don't listen to that one. Listen to After 7. Dayton's in the house. Morro Bay, California. And I never heard of that. Every week I hear something I've never heard of. Raleigh's in the house. San Diego, Omaha, Nebraska, Florida. Not Florida, but Florida.
Florida.
Philly. Hey, Philly's in the house. You been to Ishkabibbles? I don't even know if they're open. Lorton, Virginia. That's where the prison is. I know that. I used to go to that prison to teach. Lake County, California. Fort Hood, Texas. Chi-Town is in the house. Capitol Heights, Maryland. Dayton's, Ohio. Who else is? The Fearless. My Fearless cohort. Deep bow to you, Fearless cohort. In the house. Linden, New Jersey. We don't have no international. Oh, there it is. St. Croix. Well, that's U.S. LA, that's the international.
That's for sure.
Send light and love out to California with all of the property that's been damaged and all of the people who have lost their homes. I just want to say, fear not, fear not, fear not. My accountability tribe is in the house. Cohort number 10 is in the house. Yes, Santa Barbara and San Francisco. So up there where the fires are. 3.7 million acres of land gone. So, instead of, like you said, we have so much, if you don't have a prayer life, this is the divine time.
We are all being called inward,
Yeah, commitment cohort from Houston. Yeah, so good. Welcome everybody. Oh, Ishkabibbles is open. Yay, chicken cheesesteak.
Well, I look forward to our next guest. After developing POTS, P-O-T-S, a condition that causes her to faint, 15-year-old Hannah Lucas was terrified of being alone. Fears quickly spiraled into anxiety and deep depression, which led her to self-harm. And by the end of her freshman year, she had missed 196 classes due to her condition. During one of Hannah's lowest moments, the idea for the notOK app was born. The app allows the user to press a button to alert their chosen safe context when they are not safe. Hannah and her tech genius brother, Charlie, founded Bugbee LLC. Charlie wireframed the app's basic premise, created the workflow, built the website, and designed the first logo. This year, in what was Hannah's senior year, the sibling duo hosted a virtual prom on their @notOK app Instagram. The event included celebrity DJ Jazzy Jeff, other celebrity appearances, and cash prizes for attendees donated by Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. In fact, here's a quick peek at Jazzy Jeff's appearance.
Yay.
1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. I am the magnificent DJ Jazzy Jeff. Major shout out to Hannah and Charlie Lucas, the creators of the notOK app, for putting this We Are Well virtual prom on. So listen, we want everybody to turn up, have a good time. This is your prom night. Thank you for allowing me to provide the music. Come on, let's go. Welcome to the We Are Well virtual prom. Yours truly, DJ Jazzy Jeff. Shout out to Hannah and Charlie. It's your prom night, y'all. Come on. Let's go. Woo, woo, woo. Ha.
Just get a mustache.
I love that. I love that. Hannah and Charlie, welcome to Love from a
Welcome.
Distance.
Hi.
How are you?
We're doing excellent. Thank you for asking.
You are doing excellent, and you are gorgeous, both of you.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, why would I want to be magical like a unicorn? What do unicorns do?
Exactly.
That's the sign behind them, right?
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
magical like a unicorn. Yeah, I do. So thank you. Now, I want to know about this POT thing, Miss Hannah. Tell me about that.
Of course. So I have a chronic illness called POTS. It stands for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Basically, it just deals with my autonomic nervous system, and it causes me to pass out and faint, and it means that I don't really have enough blood in my body.
Wow, wow.
Wow.
Is that something that you developed, or were you born with it? Do you know?
No one really knows how people get POTS. Doctors are still speculating whether it's genetic or not, so I have no clue.
So when you say that it means that you don't have enough blood in your body, are you saying that literally you need blood infusions, or that the blood is just not circulating correctly or fast enough?
It means that I don't have enough, I have a really low blood volume. So in order to fix that, I have to drink lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water. I even used to have to get IV infusions so that I could be hydrated enough and have enough blood for my body.
Wow.
How interesting.
Yes. And how old are you, beloved? How old are you?
I'm 18.
18 now. And you speak about it with such clarity. That's really good. You know, people don't say I got diabetes or hypertension with that level of clarity. And you know, good for you. Good for you. So it took you to a kind of dark place, huh?
Yes, ma'am. After I was diagnosed, I was passing out a lot, missed a ton of school, as you guys mentioned earlier. I was bullied, harassed, and even sexually threatened really badly by guys in my engineering class who found out I passed out. It was a really awful experience.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Backwards.
Did you say you were bullied?
Yeah, really, really badly.
Passing
It was
out?
awful. Yep.
I need help.
I know.
What am I drinking? This is tangerine juice, but it needs to be wine. Or
Yes.
I need too much brown liquor.
The world that we're living in. So,
Yeah.
so if you don't mind, just revisiting those moments for just a sec. What was the bullying? I mean, here you are in a very vulnerable condition with an illness. What were the things that were said or done that were bullying?
Of course. So kids didn't really understand what my illness was. I mean, it took me, 2.5 years to even get a diagnosis in the first place. So I was passing out even before I had my diagnosis. I didn't even know what I had, but kids thought I had seizures. So when I walked past some of them, they would start shaking really badly as if they were faking a seizure. And then they would laugh at me, and I was like, that's not cool. They would also threaten me, things like, you better be glad I haven't found you passed out, or it'd be my lucky day. It was just really awful things.
Yeah.
And Charlie, are you her younger brother or older brother?
Oh, I'm actually her younger brother. I'm 15.
Oh, but you were big enough to beat somebody up. Did you do it?
I'm allowed to bully her.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I'm not inciting violence. Did you just punch somebody one time, kick them in the knee or something?
I mean, I would win the fight, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that led to something powerfully wonderful,
Yeah.
the development of this app. Talk about It's Not Okay app. Talk about that.
So basically, when Hannah told me her idea for the notOK app, my first response was, and I quote, "Let's go," because it was basically one of the only things that I could actually help her with during that time. Like, she was passing out, I couldn't catch her, I couldn't take her to the doctor. I didn't even know what was happening with her. So on that very day, I started working on the wireframe and the workflow, which is basically how the app looks and how it works, because I only knew how to do that because when I was 7, I taught myself how to program, basically because I didn't want to do the summer workbooks that my mom forced us to do because she was that annoying mom.
Yup.
Yeah, you see that. You hear me.
Mom's there. I love that.
So basically, I learned how
You
to
said
develop an
wait a minute,
entire
because
app out of
your
order.
audio is a little fuzzy. You said that you started programming when you were 7?
7, yeah. I learned how to
Programming
make
computer?
entire apps. Yeah, just computers, just on free stuff like Khan Academy and Code.com and stuff like that, because I was bored.
Charlie, I can't program my phone.
Exactly. But Charlie, at 7, you hadn't started school where they were actually teaching you programming. This was just all intuitive and passion driven.
Yeah, last year was actually the first year where they actually started teaching us programming, and I just aced that class. It was really easy. I was playing Minecraft on the computers the entire time.
You're not supposed to say.
Well, they can't punish me now because I'm at home.
I don't know why his audio
Yes,
is
we're having a difficult time hearing them.
Are you on your
pinging.
earphone piece thing?
Yeah, we're sharing headphones.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, speak slowly, Charlie, because I want to hear every word that your brilliant mind has to offer my tired brain.
It's gonna be a challenge.
So basically, yeah, last year was the first year where they taught us programming, and I aced that class. It was super easy. I was on Minecraft the entire time, so that was fun.
Yeah. So how did you create the app? Because I have an app. It was very expensive to create.
Well, basically, from the first day where I started doing the wireframe and the workflow, which is basically how the app looks and how it works, like the basic go over, we actually made this really large presentation to show to our parents. It was like 15 pages, and it included like financial projections, how our company was going to look like in the future.
It was a lot. Yeah, we even set up all of our stuffed animals around our parents to make the audience look more realistic. It was a disaster.
Yeah, and then we found some developers through a business camp that Hannah was going through, because I was like 12, and if I made the entire app by myself, it would have been impossible.
Lots and lots of work.
So much work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I worked alongside the developers to make sure that the app is what Hannah needed at that point, because it was basically just for Hannah at that point.
So who are your basic subscribers? Is it young people, old people like me, or old people like Tina?
Honestly,
why you gotta include me? I'm obviously
old by myself.
Honestly, the app is for anyone who's not okay, no matter what age you are. For kids, teenagers, middle schoolers, and even for the older generations. It's literally for anyone who's not okay.
When you say not okay, tell me what you mean not okay. What do you mean?
Well, being not okay can mean so many different things in this lovely society that we live in today. For me, I know I personally use the app for many different reasons, my chronic illness, my mental illness, you name it. So yeah, we even have people recovering who use the app, and their trusted contacts are their therapists and recovery partners.
So if somebody were in trouble, if they were having a breakdown or an episode, they would go in the app and contact their person, their
exactly.
Yeah. And then that person would be able to get in touch. Does the app locate where they are?
Yes.
Yeah, it shows the exact GPS location and directions and sends it to the trusted contacts.
Wow,
Amazing.
that is oh, okay. So how do you guys describe yourselves? Like, do you see yourselves as entrepreneurs, or what is that label if you have one?
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, entrepreneurs and co-founders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your vision?
Honestly, my vision is to make this app so big that everyone who needs help is able to get it with the push of the button. And I really just want to normalize mental health and mental illness. You know, I want to normalize talking about it. I want to completely eradicate the stigma around mental illness. I want to make it so that suicide isn't the second leading cause of death for my generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And go ahead, Tina.
I'm curious about your generation. On the ground, do you experience, like at school, a lot of evidence of people struggling, kids struggling? And if so, what do you think that's related to?
Your audio was cutting in and out.
She said, in your generation, both you, because Charlie, you're 15, you're 18, so there's just a little bit of space. What are y'all, Gen Ys or Gen Zs or Gen Qs? What are you? There's so many, I don't know. I'm old. they call
Me
us
too.
the silent generation, okay? But what Miss Tina asked was, do you find people in your generation struggling with mental health or emotional health? And if so, what do you think is the cause?
I mean, let's face it, mental illness is it's so prevalent in today's world. You know, 1 in 4 people globally have a mental illness, and 75% of those appear, like the first signs of those appear during adolescence, during the age me and my brother's generation are in, you know? So I definitely think that my generation is struggling with mental illness, but I think that we're just more open to talking about it. I definitely do think that my generation is a lot more open to talking about mental health and mental illness, and I think in the end we're going to be able to get a lot more help that way.
Now, what do you classify as mental illness? When you say mental health, mental illness, what are you talking about? I heard you say depression, and you had a bout of depression. And what else would you put in that lump into that category for your generation?
Definitely. Depression, anxiety, ADHD, eating disorders, trauma, PTSD, anything that you would talk with a therapist about.
Wow, so you do know about. I know the eating disorders are huge. Do you think bullying is caused by mental illness or is a mental illness?
I do not think that bullying is a mental illness. I think that bullying is just bullying is caused by enabling, especially enabling by the parents.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a deep, that's a wonderful answer.
Yes. I know. And how do you think parents need to address that?
I think parents need to start holding their kids accountable for their actions. You can't wait until they turn 18 and then suddenly hold them accountable for their actions. That's not how it works. Kids definitely need to be held accountable for their actions at a young age to teach them what's okay and what isn't okay. You know, even with sexual harassment, girls are taught from a very young age that if a boy is bullying you or making fun of you, that means he likes you. It's fine, just go along with it. And boys are taught that it's okay to bully and harass a girl, you know, even from such young ages because you like her.
Are you going to go to college?
Yes, definitely. I'm in college right now.
Oh, you are? Okay, good. And are you taking meds for your condition? Not the condition, mental health, basically. Because the physical condition, you have meds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm taking my medicine religiously.
I know, right. And drinking the water also.
Definitely.
And Okay, so that I don't know what to say to you. You're young, you're brilliant, you got a lot of information. I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say? I need to say something. What you want me to know? Talk to me. Enlighten me.
Enlighten you. Well, that's a good question. We could talk about anything.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. I have a question. So first off, I just want to acknowledge the sibling love that is represented. I know. When you finish throwing up, Charlie, you will have to be present to the truth that when your sister was in trouble and you didn't know what else to do, what you did was put that very, very valuable mind of yours to work really fast, right? Yeah, that's called love.
I want to acknowledge Charlie for that, but I want to acknowledge your parents. Who are they? I want to give them a lick on the cheek. Yes, that is phenomenal. What was your mother's or your parent? Are you in a 2-parent household?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a mother. Yay!
That's a compliment.
Yay for the moms. I'm sorry, Dad's not there. I mean, yay for the dad too. But what was your mother's response to your illness, to your situation?
At first, I'm gonna be frank with you. No one knew anything about my chronic illness. It was really difficult to get a diagnosis in the first place. I had several different false diagnoses. I went from specialist to specialist. We even had a cancer scare. I thought I had a brain tumor for like 3 weeks, which was absolutely
fun.
Awful. Yeah, I ate so much cookie dough. I was like, this could be my last jar. It was so bad. But my mom, she was really my rock throughout the entire thing. But we didn't talk about mental illness. We were just so focused on what was wrong with Hannah physically. Let's figure out what was wrong with her and what's physically wrong with her, that we totally neglected my mental health.
And did you talk to her about it as you were feeling the need to harm yourself?
No, I kept it all bottled up, honestly. I just wanted to still be strong. I wanted to maintain that facade of strength. That was
why? Tell me why.
Honestly, I'm gonna be like super honest with you right now. I live in a white area. I used to go to a predominantly white school, and growing up, I was taught that I had to be 10 times better in order to be seen as half as good. I always had to be the strong Black woman, and because of that, I've never been allowed to be vulnerable. I've never been allowed to be weak, because I always had to be so strong. Especially when I started passing out, I was like, I'm the weak Black girl now. That's why everyone's bullying me and stuff. And that's why I didn't want to tell my mom about what I was thinking. I wanted her to still think that I was mentally strong.
Okay, we have to rethink that. Because
our entire society, right?
Yes,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Black mothers. Let's start there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mothers, we have to absolutely rethink that and allow our children to see our vulnerabilities. Yeah. I think if you had seen your mom's vulnerabilities, I know the same as, let me not talk about your mother because I don't want you to punch me in the eye. So I'll talk about myself. Okay. If I had done that differently, because I had a daughter who had cancer, and for a long time she wouldn't talk about it because, here's what she said to me: Mommy has to work and I have to be strong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Charlie, where are you at in terms of being a young Black male, a young, brilliant Black male, in terms of mental health? Are you vulnerable? Do you talk about your soft places and where you need help?
I try to be as vulnerable as possible. It's really hard, especially in a Black family, because we're kind of raised to not really, as Hannah said, not really show any weaknesses or any faults, especially as a guy. You can't have any emotion or it's viewed as a weakness. So when Hannah started talking about her mental health and what was going on with her, and my parents actually started listening and they actually started getting like a therapist and stuff, I'm like, this is actually possible, because I've been struggling with really horrible, inhabilitating panic attacks my entire life. They were so bad I couldn't even move for like hours. It was horrible. Like I would vomit and stuff, and I didn't know that it was an actual possibility where you could talk about it and it could get better.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Charlie. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
to all of our listeners, I think that this is so instructive to us as parents, how we pass on our myths and pathologies to our children, and particularly for you. I have 7 grandsons, so I'm always talking to them, and they do have this thing about being Black and male. You can't show any weakness. You can't be vulnerable. So I'm glad you know the difference. I'm glad you know not only is it okay, is it not, what is it? It's okay to be.
Not okay.
The jinx, double jinx, triple jinx, you can't talk for the rest of this call. Hi, I'm here.
Say that again.
It's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah, good for you. And do you do like podcasts and things like that where you can talk about these things? People need to hear it because they need to hear it from you, from your generation. Do you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, we would love to do that.
Yeah, me and my brother, actually, we've been thinking for a while about starting a podcast.
Yeah, and inviting other young people, to talk about the eating disorders, the depression. Oh, the depression. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Oh, now I know what to ask you. Okay, open up the door now. Do we as adults, I'm not talking about your mother. I don't want you to punch me in my eye. Do we as adults put too much pressure on y'all to achieve?
I got this one.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Tell me more.
Especially our generation, because from a young age, we've been told that the world's kind of gone to crap and we're supposed to be the ones that are supposed to fix it, but no one listens when we talk.
And not that,
Wow. Wow.
We're the future. From such a young age, it's been ingrained in us that we are the future, but we're actually the now. We have the solutions now to fix it. We just need seats at the table for people to listen.
And if we don't get seats at the table, we're just gonna make our own table.
Exactly. And then there's
please make your own table, because our table got weak legs. Please make your own table. We're not talking about you, Mom. We're just trying to get some needed information. You did a good job. But yeah, make your own table, because I frequently say that to parents. Stop talking about the children and listen to them. Listen to them, because you see it different than we see it. You just do. When I talk to my grandchildren, I'm like, really? And they educate me about so many things, So we put too much pressure on you. How can we do it different? How can we do it different? Listening to you is one thing. What else?
Giving us equal opportunities, I think, is another really, really important one. Like, if we are the future, sponsor our future. There are so many kids out there, so many just absolutely mind-blowing, brilliant kids out there, who can do so many things if given the right opportunities, like scholarships, not only scholarships for just the overachieving kids in schools, but scholarships, for the okay students, students whose attendance might not be the best or whose grades might not be the best, but whose passion is so clearly there, who's doing so much in their community.
Yeah.
The community. Go ahead, Charlie.
You go.
No, you go.
Okay.
I'm a listen.
Another really important thing you guys could do that not really happens a lot is listen to us, as you said, but actually give us a seat at the table, especially when you're talking about us, especially the teen conferences and stuff, or like the teen panels without any actual teenagers or any actual like kids. Listen to us and actually like act on it, as Hannah was saying.
Exactly.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I think that is so important that we get your perspective. I think so very often. Let me tell you how I learned it. You know, my children are much older than everybody, than y'all, but I used to dress them, and I used to they used to wear garanimals. So the shirt matched the pants, and you could coordinate in colors. And then when my son was like about 13, I said, okay, go pick your clothes out.
You know.
He didn't know how to do it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so when he put on the striped shirt and the plaid pants and the polka dot socks, I was like, okay. Okay, if that's how you want to express yourself, go right ahead. You know, and I think it like frightens us when, not me, but it frightens us when you all show up with green hair and piercings everywhere. We're not really sure what to, you know, what to do with that.
Yeah. I think
I'm curious. I'd love to hear what you both feel is possible for the future. We've talked about this very, very challenging world that we live in. But I'd love to know, when you think about this world and you think about growing up, you know, and adding your voice, how do you see the future?
I see the future as being infinitely more accepting than it is now. I see the future as everyone being perceived as acceptable and professional. I think that's a big thing, you know. For so long, people have had to change their hair color, what they wear, you know, tattoos, piercings, like you said, this, that, and the third, just to be seen as professional and to get jobs that they are more than qualified for. You know, I think I see the future as people earning things based on qualification and not based on the way that they look.
It's beautiful.
What about you, Charlie?
How do you go after that? Well, I see the future. All of the climate change is an actual thing that we talk about instead of just ignoring it and sweeping science under the rug. And I see the future as a more science literate place where people actually listen to the scientists and listen to the people who've studied this their entire lives instead of listening to random people on YouTube. And I see where we're not really in danger of running out of really important resources like helium and trees. Yeah, no, helium is actually something that we're gonna run out of in the next few hundred years. It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you look out on because you can vote this year, right?
I can.
Yeah. When you look out on the
so
political landscape, what do you see on the political landscape? What do you see?
I feel like it can go either one of two ways. And I go the way that I want it to go for my safety, and so I won't have to move to New Zealand.
No, I mean, when you see what's going on, what is your impression of what's going on?
When I see what's going on, honestly, I just see a bunch of children office positions that they have no right being in. I feel like a lot of politicians nowadays don't care about the people. They're just so focused on arguing with the opposite side that nothing gets done. More and more people end up getting hurt. Yeah. It's low-key kind of like
high five.
You let them hang it.
Yeah, it's almost like a cult mindset where people just see which party they identify as and say, okay, this is my party, I'm only going to vote for this party, when nowadays their parties aren't what they were. They don't believe in things that they originally believed in. I think we as a society, especially during this extremely important election. We need to do our research. We need to look at the facts and not based on your feelings. We definitely need to start looking at the facts and researching a politician's history and not just looking at what they say in debates, because politicians will say anything and everything in debates to get elected, but they don't do anything once they get in office due to lobbying.
What do you think, Charlie?
Well, I see, especially in this current election, I feel like it's kind of the getting someone out and the least of two evils. It's kind of been like that it's kind of been like that since the past two elections. That's all I've basically been paying attention to. I just started paying attention to politics in 2016 because I was like 12. God, I was 12 a lot. Yeah, that's weird. But no, like,
Only for a year, Charlie. Only for a year.
Like,
Well,
we've been trying to look for someone who won't completely destroy everything over and over again, and also lobbying is not something that should be legal.
Yeah.
Let me say this to you because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I want to get your contact information, and I will support you in starting a podcast. Producing it, writing for it. You said support you. So I will do that. We'll figure it out what you need, how you want to do it. Let's name it. Let's get the formula. Let's research some other young people that you can have on, what you want to do, and let's get it done. And I will support
that's beautiful.
you.
That's beautiful.
That's
beautiful.
I'm gonna hang up.
A lot of work.
Well, you know
work.
what's beautiful about that, Iyanla, is that because we are running out of time, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to ask the question of how do you see the two of you working together in the future, and Iyanla just gave you all a perfect way for the two of you to have your very brilliant minds and passionate hearts out there for the world to engage with. And
so here's my assignment, right? Mom, write this down. And don't get involved. What's your vision? What is it that you want this podcast to do? How do you see it reaching the world? What's your intention? Meaning, what is it that you want to experience and create as a result of the podcast? And what is the name? Your vision, your intention, your name. You get that for me, and we'll get this puppy moving.
Well, on that note, we could talk to you much longer, but we're running out of time. I don't know. Does Mom want to just put her face in for a moment so that we can see what Mommy looks like?
Hi,
all
Mom.
of this effort. Hey,
Mom,
Mommy.
you can't come to the podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm on deadline. I have deadline is due tomorrow, so I've been working like crazy this last week.
That's called procrastinating.
I was procrastinating, but my book is due tomorrow, so I have to like get it in there.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna help them do the podcast, Mom. I'm gonna help them do it, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
They're gonna freak out as soon as the camera goes off. So much right now. Oh yeah,
And we'll do it in a way that it won't interfere with their schooling and all of that stuff. And everything is online now. So I'll be your executive producer.
Yay! Okay, on that note,
Thank you.
we have to, Iyanla, would you give them a very special deep bow as we say goodbye to our guests? This was wonderful.
You are the now. And I am honored to stand in this moment with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You matter.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that was just so much fun.
Yeah,
Iyanla, I'm doing a deep bow to you, for hearing them so clearly say that what is needed is that if we think that they're the future, then we need to pony up
Yeah.
and act like it.
Yeah.
And you stepped in, and I think that was just
I
you.
don't understand. Look at this right here. That right there is living gold. They
Yes,
are brilliant.
absolutely.
I remember growing up on BET. There used to be Youth Summit. I can't remember the name of it. I know Jeff, a couple of people hosted it. But when it went down there, I know there are things out there with young people's voice. But imagine those two doing what you and I do, just doing it with young people.
Yes.
They can do that.
Yes. That's beautiful. And what's really exciting is that yes, they are young, but I am learning that when we stop putting labels like young and old, and we begin to just really tap into that shared humanity, we learn from one another, we grow because of one another, and that's really the point, right? We can evolve that way.
What is our brother's name? I got so many things going in my mind. The brother that we just lost, the Black Panther. Lord help me, I can't think of his name.
Chadwick.
Chadwick Boseman. One of his
Mhm.
last public addresses, he said to the young people, "You're not the future. You are the now." That's what he said, and he wanted to be there present for them. So in the name of Chadwick Boseman, and in the name of the notorious BG, and in the name of Sojourner Truth and Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker and Shirley Chisholm and my mama, Elizabeth Elizabeth Jefferson, let me help these young people do something.
That's right. And that means that for all of you who are listening, it is one of the things that you can do, must do during these times, is to make sure you are thinking about what's possible and not totally focused on the problems and how horrible things appear to be. Your energy is needed as a part of the solution, and the problem is not going to help us get there. Thinking about what's possible will help us get there. Believing that there's something better.
What you focus on grows.
Yes,
what
absolutely.
You focus on grows.
Absolutely.
So we have to stop saying no justice, no peace, and
That's
say
right.
more justice, total peace. That's what we got to say.
Yeah,
so
that's beautiful.
Focus on grows.
Well, this has been so much fun. Once again, we ask that you join us next week as we welcome Lauren Simmons, the youngest woman to ever trade at the New York Stock Exchange. We are just finding all of these gems, in the now, right?
Yeah. And
yes.
I want to give a deep bow of prayer for you and your mom. Just surrounding you and her in light, your whole family.
Thank you for that.
And allow the will of the Creator to unfold effortlessly with grace and elegance.
Yes.
And I'm here. If you need me, I don't care what it's for, you call me.
Thank you so much for that, Iyanla. And it is on that note that we get to, for a second, just feel the humanity in what Iyanla just offered. Feel the humanity and see how we can be that for someone else in our lives. Take us out.
Deep bow. Have a great week. I'm going to go.